Last year, the education cost inflation increased to 6.4% compared to 5.7% rise from the year before. Primary school-related inflation was up by 7.3%, but tertiary education costs fell by nearly 6%.
The cost drivers for education cost inflation, you're looking at things like stationery, uniform, you're looking at food, which we call scarfing, you're looking at transport. But I think for me, of concern are the small retailers that have exclusive rights to sell school uniform because there is a particular badge that they need to put on a blazer or some stationery or rather on uniform items. So these need to be in check because if we don't if we don't give special attention, if we don't give special attention to the small retailers that have exclusive rights to sell this uniform where parents have to go and purchase the uniform, the cost could become completely unaffordable for a lot of parents.
Manyike adds that, as it is, salary inflation of parents has not been matching inflation amid added responsibilities that they have to contend with.
The issue of school fees continues to become a challenge that haunts many parents. And what we say to parents is when you start saving for children's education, start early. The early the better, because when it comes to investing for your children's education, time is your best friend.
Serena Pillay has just taken over ownership of student schoolwear business in Johannesburg. She says although she has extensive experience in supplying stationery to corporate companies, buying this business was a risk on her side given the weak economy.
I knew that, children have to go to school and they have to get uniforms, but of course there's a lot of competition out there. In the old days they had a couple of suppliers and, so they had a bit of monopoly, but now there's so much of suppliers out there. So I definitely knew it was a risk.
Pillay says on average the business sees about 50 or more customers on its peak season, while on quiet days they could go a day without a customer. Having been in the industry for some time, she can attest to the dwindling basket of school accessories.
I think a lot of people are reducing the cost. So whereas a parent, when my kids went to school, I bought 5 shirts, 5 longs, 5 because it was more affordable then. And now with the 2 little ones that I have, I don't buy 5 anymore. I buy 2 pants and they've got to manage with that too until I need a third one, I would get one. So I personally am reducing my basket and I've seen it with a lot of the parents. And I guess, like you say, the inflation and cost of living is quite high and everybody's trying their best. They come back from holiday, money is at the lowest at that point, it's tight, yes. And so yes, definitely the baskets are decreasing.
Pillay says an average that parents pay for school uniform is around 3,000 rands. However, parents are now going for basics like pants and shirts, opting to come back at a later stage to complete the rest. This annual expense has necessitated innovation among parents. To manage costs in the next year, some parents have begun forming stokvels to save and buy in bulk for discounts, a trend that Manyike has given a nod to.
Who says that you can't have a stokvel for transport, a stokvel for extramural activities? We have to think creatively. But having said that, do speak to your financial advisor and they might be able to help you to invest in some kind of a unit trust or some kind of interest-bearing type of investment that can beat inflation. Because if education cost inflation outpaces headline inflation, clearly that gap somehow needs to be closed.
Diabo Seto, SABC News, Johannesburg.